Guys, hello everyone. Yeah, it seems that we are live. Let me check my systems. It does look like that everything is working out, at least for now. Yeah, well, I would like to start the live stream with apologizing to Taco. It is because I forgot his super chat last time. So Taco is gonna have a reading today at the end of the stream as super chat dictates. So I am going to put it here. Right. So with that said, guys, again, welcome to the live stream. Today we are going to check into the week 19th up until the 25th of September 2022. And first, what I'm going to do is going to be the collective reading. And if you have paid attention to the thumbnail, you're going to see the cards that I have drew for the week. Hello, Aaron. Welcome to the stream. So the cards are as a follow. Now the first, and this is where I'm going to tell you the spread that I'm using. The first card in position, that was not the first card. So the first card in position 1, which is the atmosphere, the environment into the week, that will be the Empress here. Then the second card, which is in a position of what holds us back, what is gonna be the thing that actually works against us. We do have the Fool. Then the third position of the spread, it is what helps us. This is the opposite of position 2. We do have the Knight of Wands. And the final card, which is the result of all that, is the Eight of Cups here. And one additional card for the Knights of Wands, that will be the Moon card being there. So the Knights of Wands with the Moon card, they do form, one second, like that. They do form an element of dignity, being active enemies. Okay, so these are a defiance, right? Like this is a person who does defiance, not to you though, not to us. So this will be an interesting week, and I hope you don't have any new enterprises planned. And when I'm saying new enterprises, I mean enterprises that you never done before. That is like uncharted territory for you. That is like something obscured and never experienced before. Okay, because as the Fool stands into the second position, it kind of shows that it's gonna work against us for different reasons. For some, it's gonna work against them. It is because it's going to divert, or rather like diversitize, or diverse their attention from what is important into what is not important. Okay. For others, it's going to be because they will not gonna have what it takes to basically keep up with the enterprise. So it's a waste of time. For third is going to be because that's simply not their enterprise. It's not going to be something that is going to bring results, and so on and so forth. So then you may ask, what is the best way then to kind of like spend the week? Well, that is within the environment, and the environment with the Empress card, it kind of shows that first and foremost, if you can take some days off throughout the week, that's gonna be great. In fact, in my country, there is a national celebration, and Thursday and Friday are gonna be days off. So I guess that's gonna happen, at least for Bulgarians. But yeah, if you can take a day off, because the Empress says that we as a collective, we should withdraw ourselves from the environment. We need to kind of like withdraw from the midst of activities so we can see our situations, whether romantic situations, whether business situations, from like we are from a how can I put it into words, from like we are a third party, and that way seeing them objectively. Because what the week is going to demand from us, it is to make a decision how we are going to move forward. And we want that decision to be mature, well made, well found, well balanced decision. We don't want that decision to be impulsive. We don't want that decision to be made under a pressure without knowing all the circumstances. We don't want that decision to be dictated by ego as well, and all these kind of things that can beguile us into doing, or rather like deciding in favor of something or a someone else. And we are going to have that person, very interesting individual, by the way, or it could be also a society of people. Knights of Wands with the Moon card. Like I said, these are either people or a person of defiance. Now, this is going to be defiance against faith, so to speak. What do I mean with that? Well, these are a kind of people who refuse to accept, for example, failure, who refuse to accept that, you know, they can't do certain stuff, who refuse to accept that they have to settle for something. And that way they constantly fight fate. Can they overcome fate? Well, that's another matter. But the thing it is that throughout this week we are going to see them as a huge example to us, that if you want to stand for something, you got to fight for something. That is pretty much the how can I put it into words, that's pretty much the example that they're going to have for us. And the result of this example is going to make us more certain and insured and secured, I don't know how to put it into words, of what we want. All right, we are not going to second guess ourselves anymore. And the result of all that, guys, is going to be that by the end of the week, no matter what, we already gonna have our destination set. And no matter the circumstances, that destination is going to be accomplishable and as well reachable. And no matter the circumstances, the future are gonna hold even better circumstances. But again, that is only if we do not waste our time with enterprises we know nothing about. Okay, we have no clue how to manifest, we have no clue how to handle, we have no clue how to tackle. And that is the general energy or the collective energy for the week. And now I'm gonna strive, or rather like move to read for the 12 star signs. I'm gonna start from Aries, and I'm gonna end up with Pisces. And also amongst those readings, there are gonna be 3 free readings, or rather like three of you guys are gonna get a free reading from me. One is gonna take place after Cancer, another one is gonna take place after Scorpio, and the final one is gonna be towards the end of the live stream, which is gonna be at Pisces. And should any of you decide to support me and support the channel through Super Chat, you are going to have a reading at the end of the live stream. That's pretty much given. And should your Super Chat happen to be $20 or above, you're going to get the very, very same spread personalized to you that I'm doing for the star signs themselves, which is that four card spread. And if you do wish to have a personal reading with me, you can always go to my website, link of which you're going to find in the description down below. So with all that said, let me shuffle and see what Aries are going to have for the week. Oh, hello, Ella. How are you holding up? All right. First star sign, Aries. All right, so the first card for Aries, we do have the Knight of Wands. Moving on next, that's going to be the Page of Cups, followed by the Four of Cups. And the final one for Aries, that's going to be the Three of Cups. Okay. So one more card to draw for the Page of Cups, and that's going to be the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so we do have those four cards in addition to the Page of Cups being catalyzed by the Three of Pentacles. This elemental dignity is a passive friends elemental dignity. Those three, those two, I mean. All right, so for Aries, this week, guys, you will experience the insatiable hunger to kind of like detach from either a society of people or a specific individual that happens to be that Page of Cups. And it isn't because that Page of Cups, whether that is a colleague of yours or a friend, maybe significant one, it could be also a child. It's just you need a break. You will want to have a break from them. It's because with those two cards, that person happens to be very demanding, and before you know it, they're left, right, and center every freaking where taking place in your life. And it's just, it feels like, or is gonna start feeling like you don't have any privacy anymore. Okay, you don't have, you do not, you're not self-reliant, you're not self-dependent. It is like that person wants to literally consumes you. And that said, it seems that within the next week you are going to make your moves to kind of like detach. But the thing is with that Four of Cups, guys, you're going to do it in a way not to hurt the person. I mean emotionally. You're going to do it in a way that that Page of Cups may not even realize that you are relating yourself with other people, that you are doing the same things for yourself. Well, the whole reason of this week, or rather like the whole topic of this week for you Aries, is that you do diversify your life, or rather like diversify your social relations, and kind of like associate yourself with people that hold enterprises which are different from the enterprises you do have. You do just need variety. You will find yourself needing something different on a mundane level, not on the grand scheme of things. That's it. Just to talk with someone different for a different subject, you know, for a different things. Just to have a coffee with someone different and kind of like experience different atmosphere and so on and so forth. And that's going to be literally the strive and the topic, and generally what the week revolves around itself. And what the cards are showing, it is that you are going to find that different atmosphere. In fact, that different atmosphere is going to happen to be way more aligning, that you would dare to, how can I put it into words? You would dare to not submit. Oh my God, I forgot the word. Acknowledge, predict, foresee, I don't know. It's like your expectations are going to be way exceeded with how well you fit with this new atmosphere. That is what I am trying to say here. It is just the way you see things in life and the way you click with those people is going to be very, very well aligned. And that said, what you can expect, Aries, throughout the next week, it is to expand your social circle. This is all about what that week is going to be for you. Now, if you do want some practical advices, whether into your career or whether into your relationship, follow your interest, okay? If someone does not, if relating yourself with someone goes against your interest, don't do it. Especially if we're talking about work. Remember, guys, you're there to make money, not to make any friends. Okay, that's very, very important. Now, and as well, romantically also, It's very important to sign up for your interest rather than to sign up just for a bland relationship. All right, so moving on, next we do have Taurus. Jen, thank you so much for your $5. Thank you, Jen. I did not understood your question first time I read it. What do you mean with that? Should you go to someone's home, check on? Like you worry about someone? You have no contact with them? Is that what you are saying? I haven't heard from. All right. Well, I will try to reward the question because I cannot make decisions for you. That's not what the design of Tarot is for. Okay? So they cannot make your choice. And that is your question is all about. It's not even a question, it's asking me it's a question, but that question asks me to make a choice. For you, that is. So Taurus, the first card, that's going to be the Page of Pentacles. Moving forward, we do have the Devil, followed by the Three of Pentacles. And the last one for you, Taurus, that's going to be the Ace of Swords. So this week for you, Taurus, is going to be all about establishing what worth your while, literally, or figuring out, is that person worth your while? Is that task worth your while? Is this client really worth your while? And so on and so forth. And that is quite understandable. Having the Devil into the second position, it kind of like speaks that if you do throw yourself into the temptation just because, you know, something looks very, very good on paper, you do risk, you know, to hold yourself, or rather like bounce yourself quite far back from where you are right now. And you definitely don't want to find yourself thinking that you are way further than you think you are. So what happens throughout the week, it is that you are to associate yourself with many people, which are, or rather like not associate, but more like a talking to people, seeking, if you can, their support as well, who have either experience or involvement into the situation you are trying to establish its value. And there are going to be a lot of fruitful discussions with these people. Also, you have to be ready to face a criticism, okay? Think of it that way. You can apply this energy to almost anything, guys. Even to your current marriage, for example. If your marriage is on the rock and you're trying to figure out, is it really worth sitting there? Because that's how it could play out. And consulting yourself with, you know, marriage consultants, couples therapists, and so on and so forth, just to understand, is it really worth giving it one last try or one last chance or not? And like I said, those conversations with people who are either experienced or involved into the situations you're trying to establish its value, are you together, because that's going to happen to be also a cooperation on top of being also a fruitful discussions. You will reach to the answer, because with the Ace of Swords at the end of the week, you will pretty much gonna have it all in front of you as an information. Is it worth it or is it not worth it? Although that is kind of like relative. For different people, one thing works that for other doesn't. Or how do you Americans say it? One man's trash is another man's treasure. I guess. But here you will have all the information needed. In other words, you're going to have a full diagnosis, an accurate diagnosis over the situation you're in. Okay. And you're also going to know what you need to do about it. And you're also going to build up the spiritual strength and the courage to do it. Do you want to do it? Well, that's another matter. That is a choice that you have to make. Like I said to Jen as well, I can't make choices for you guys. But literally, you're going to have all the means necessary to make your enterprises, or to be involved in enterprises which only worth your while, instead of being in whatever, in how do you call it, betting on a wrong horse, so to speak. Now, a little bit more practical advices. I think that many of you are gonna come to a conclusion that certain friendships you do have, are worth more than you actually are placing worth of. And therefore, many of you may end up transforming relationships, or rather like friendships, into intimate relationships into the upcoming week. And should that be the case, the rules and as well, the environment of what those relationships are to be established is going to be very clear. It's just, you both are going to talk about it. You're going to pretty much discuss of what kind of expectations you both have, and it just is going to be like a deal. All right, it's going to be like it's like a deal, but deal not being deprived by any feelings. On the contrary, in terms of career, nothing much that I can say. It seems that you are gonna find a destination that, like I said, worth your while when it comes to your career, whether that destination is a project or whether it's a client, so on and so forth. So that was for Taurus. Now moving on, next we do have Gemini. Hello, Kate. Welcome to the stream. Hey, Anna. Welcome to the stream as well. Yeah, Gemini. All right, so first one for Gemini, that's going to be the King of Pentacles, followed by the Seven of Cups. Moving on next, that's going to be the Four of Pentacles. And the final one, that's going to be the Hierophant. I am gonna try to explain it with a story. It's a personal story, okay? And when I started the whole channel, it's kind of like I was shooting with a very poor quality webcam and all these kind of stuff. It's just it was so, I don't know how to put it even into words, okay? I mean, Pisces Moonbeam talk about it. What she said at the end of the day was, well, listen, you want to make money out of it? If you want to make money out of something, you have to spend money into it. It's not working out that way to wait, things to just fall from the sky. If you want to kind of like something to be gainingful, you got to invest into it. And that's how the week of Gemini literally is. Okay, you want love, well, you are going to have to give it first. Okay, you want money, well, you will have to give them first. Whatever you need, you have to invest into it first, and then you are going to get a reciprocal returns. Simple as that. Simple and as it plain. So why then you may think it's necessary that you need to give first? Okay, well, according to these cards, Gemini, it seems that there is a problem with the trust, or simply put, people don't trust you. I don't know why, but they just don't. And you have to pretty much prove them wrong by showing what you are, let's say, capable of, or how far you're willing to go, and so on and so forth. It's just you do know your way, so to speak. And good thing though, we do have the saving grace here with the Hierophant at the end. Hierophant, especially when it comes to human interactions and relationship, it's establishing mutual trust and reliability. So it seems that by the end of the week, you are going to regain your trust into people, okay? But that will take investments. It's not going to happen on its own accord. Now, those investments doesn't have to be money. Okay, they could be that you have to invest kindness. It could be that you have to invest love. It could be that you have to invest time, or you have to invest favors. Okay, they don't have to be money. I made the example because that was the first thing that came to my mind. Okay, but at the end of the day, for example, if you are building a business and you want your business to be successful, well, you have to invest with the last word of the technology. You are making, for example, I don't know, a beauty salon, right? Well, you have to buy the last word of technology about a hairstylist equipment, about nail building equipment, about everything. Okay, you want to be on the top of the world, well, you have to spend like you are there. Okay, so literally what those cards are showing, and we do have here the Seven of Cups as well into the second position, which pretty much shows that there are no cutting corners, there are no shortcuts, at least into your given situation right now. But with the Four of Pentacles being into the third position, you can definitely ensure the certainty of the future, whatever you're building up right now. Definitely. So practical advice is here. Okay, you want to win the heart of someone, well, show them that you can, that they can trust you and they can rely on you. Okay, you want to grow into your work. You are, for example, in a job for about 5 years and you never see a promotion. Everybody around you is promoted, just you aren't. Well, show your boss that it isn't about the money. Show your boss that you do the work because you love the work. Okay, the money are something that comes on its own, and you are gonna get promoted. It's just you have to first invest, like I said, before you actually get your returns from it. All right, so that was for Gemini. Moving on, next we do have Cancer. Well, that's an investment, Anna. Yes. Well, I remember when my brother was in I don't know how it's called in England. Okay, it is definitely not a college. It's like going into a course, you know, for a hairstylist. I believe he went to the Vidal Sassoon school, and he took classes there. And I remember that he was ordering synthetic hair where he can practice, and those synthetic hairs were costing fortune. But if you put a human natural hair next to the synthetic hair, you couldn't say the difference. It's just they behave the same, they under treatment, under anything. It was remarkable, but they do cost it a fortune. Okay, but he became very good in what what he's doing. It is just whenever he sees a hair and he touches it, and for example you open the catalog of a hairstyling and you say I want that style, he can tell you no, or it can't happen on your hair, or he can say yeah, it can happen in your hair. It's just, he's now that good. All right, so for Cancer, first one, we do have the Hermit. Well, depending on what kind of a synthetical you take, I don't know. I mean, here's they took chemicals very, very well. Second, we do have the Two of Swords. Moving on next, we do have the King of Cups for Cancer. And the final one, that's going to be the Star card. Okay. The additional card to the King of Cups, it is the Three of Swords. So you are to be, I don't know if it's going to be pleasant or unpleasant, but you're definitely going to be surprised throughout the next week. So what the week is all about? Well, that could play in a two ways, all right? So whether someone who disappointed you is going to come in with an offering, with a proposal, right? Or whether someone that you have disappointed is going to come with an offering, a proposal. So in one way, in the first version, someone is going to come seeking a forgiveness. Into the second version, someone already forgave you and wants to give you a second chance. Okay? So, should you take it or not? Absolutely yes, according to these cards. In a blink of an eye, according to them, that is. Because what you are to be offered, some of you are to be offered a job, others are to be offered, I don't know, repayment. Third are to be offered love, whatever. But you definitely should take it, at least according to these cards. Why? Well, because it's going to be an important endeavor. It's going to be an important aspect in your life, according to these cards. And second, it will hold to your ideals and to your standards. In fact, once you take it, you will see that the era of havoc and turmoil, the era of mayhem, is going to pretty much end. And from there, you can just, move on happy in your life. Now, that doesn't have to be, romantic relationship or business partnership. It could be just the helping hand you need to solve your problems. There will be literally no reason, guys, for you to deny it. And that's for the majority of your week here. That is the most important thing that it is taking place. Now, I can talk a lot about those cards. Okay, first of all, you should not be indecisive, not just only with that offer, but with anything that it is coming your way. Second of all, emotionally, you should not look at things. Here, what should be the dictating factor of how you make your choices are wisdom and intelligence, right? Not emotions. Because emotionally, if you lean to your emotions, you are going to deny that helping hand. You're going to deny that proposal, that opportunity. You totally don't have to. You totally don't need to. You totally should not, according to them. And at the end with, oh my God, that's not the Star, that's Temperance. So forget about the ideals and the standards. It's going to make your life easier. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit more. It's just the star card and the temperance. They are very, very similar. So ignore the ideals and the standards. It's not going to be completely up to your ideals, but definitely is going to that helping hand or an opportunity is going to make your life way easier than it is right now. Way more to be accepted. You're not going to struggle anymore. You're not going to have to do extreme things, for example, to survive. You ain't going to cry every evening, or you're not going to feel lonely, and so on and so forth. You know, there isn't going to be an extreme situations in your life, at least for the time being. And also through that offering or through that proposal, through that helping hand as well, it seems that you're gonna find a how can I put it into words, the right way to handle certain things that you can't handle currently. And probably this is exactly where that helping hand or a proposal is coming into. Well, TS, until you do not get the offer, which is, like I said, is going to be a surprise, you can't say. Hello, Cynthia. Welcome to the stream. All right, so this concludes Cancer reading, and now we are entering into the break. You guys, or rather like, yeah, you can ask your questions right now, because one of you is going to get a free reading, and I'm going to pick one of your questions and I'm going to perform a professional reading on it. Hello, Sherry. Welcome to the stream. But for any of you who supports the stream and the channel through super chats, you are gonna get your reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much given. But should you decide to go for a personal reading, you can always do that at my website. You can find it in the description down below. And what I forgot to mention is that if your super chat happens to be $20 or above, your reading is going to be that very same reading that I'm doing for the star signs. I'm sorry, but a personalized for you. You're welcome, TS. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to input your question, guys, that you want me to read for with the tarot cards. If there are any questions, of course. If there are not, I'm just going to move to the next 4 star signs. Democracy is shown. Anyone can do whatever they like. Short answer. It's democracy. You can park for as long as it is not someone else's property and you don't obstruct anyone. You can park in lawns if that's what floats your boat, you know. Hey, Maria. No, I do not do health. That's just tarot is not designed to read for health. And the simple reason for it, guys, it is because tarot examines the path of your soul that doesn't have anything to do with the path of your body. Well, I can rephrase it. That's all right. Pisces Moonbeam. I can rephrase it. That is exactly how I was about to word it. 2.5 minutes, guys. If you do have any question, if you do have a question that you want me to read for, with tarot, now is the moment to put it into the comments. By the way, guys, if you were here on the last live stream, I told you that there was a break-in in my place, and the bag for my laptop was pretty much taken away. It was pretty much stolen. The bag was empty, nothing in it. But it was a pretty goddamn good bag, all right? I love the bag. It was so functional. But the one I bought, oh my god, I love it even more. I'm almost grateful that I have been robbed. I'm almost grateful for it. Because in the new one, actually I can stuff 2 laptops. I have 2 laptops, so I can stuff both of them in it. Okay? And I can carry on my gadgets into it, and it is, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. All right. It is. It is. Yes. Uh, is my new position gonna go for a wrong one, for a wrong one, run? TS is asking. Ginger, just to address your issue here. Listen, Ginger, even if something went under the rug, all right, if something was unmanaged, at the end of the day, things are gonna work themselves out, or they always work themselves out into those situations, okay? And even sometimes when something is left unchecked, it is just a reason to laugh about, okay? So don't worry about it. I mean, things are gonna be just fine. Cara, thank you so much for your 5 New Zealand. I'm going to put your inquiry into it as well. Hold on a second. Let me put you into the list. All right. A couple of minutes, guys, and I'm moving to the next star sign, which is going to be Leo. Like I told you, Ginger, relax. Things are gonna work themselves. Things are gonna work themselves out. It's not about that. It is just, Ginger, in those kind of enterprises, you can play around with a lot, okay? Even if you do forget to make a reservation for everyone, you know, they are gonna bring a new table. It is just, nobody is gonna turn you away, okay? If, for example, you forgot something into the menu, who knows? Maybe there will be something better to offer. It's just, you are not gonna left hanging. That's the thing in those kind of enterprises. While with TS, that's that's a pretty important, how can I put it into words, information that TS needs. Oh my god, let me get my cards for a personal readings. It's a pretty important information because it's a choice that TS needs to make that concerns her future, not just only one situation, her or his future. That's why I took that question. Well, that's all right. Chandra, thank you so much for your 4.99. Thank you, Chandra. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end, where you're gonna get personalized reading for the week. Uh, those are your cards. You are worrying in vain. I mean, you'll do very well. At least according to these cards, you're gonna do very, very well into this position you're in. According to them, that position is gonna give you the means to grow. Not just only the means to grow, it's just what the cards are showing. There are gonna be expanding energies of growth. So you will become a very important into this position that you are in. Okay, and you are gonna learn to love it. There will be literally no need for you to change it. The only problem that may arise within the next few months up until the end of March next year, from now up until the end of March next year, is that you may have it a bit more difficult time to get along with the people that you're working with. It will feel like you are not working for the same thing. Okay, but that is gonna pass as well. Just don't do irrational stuff. Okay, don't kind of like give anyone's reason to think that you don't know what you're doing. But other than that, it's gonna go for a long run, for a really, really long run. All right, so a couple of minutes, and I'm gonna move to the next 4-star signs afterwards. Yeah, it's I don't wanna influence you way too much, TS, but you are at just about the right place for the current stage in your life. Hello, Anna. Welcome to the stream. Well, that's if that's a step up, this is just the bottom of the ladder, right? This is just the bottom of the ladder. You have so many more steps to grow into the place you are in. All right, moving on next, we do have Leo. First one for Leo, we do have the Nine of Pentacles. Moving on next, that's going to be the Star card. This time it is the Star card. Followed by the Ace of Cups. And the last one for you, Leo, that's going to be the Strength. Here. So, you know what's going to be a problem, guys, for you? To see that just because things ahead of you, whether in career or whether in relationship, happens to be easy, in fact, for some of you, are going to be like a walk in the park for the next week, that is, to kind of like become overconfident and to think that it is now in the bag, whether if regards your love life or whether it regards your career. So within the next week, it seems that something big is gonna take place in your life. Under the energy of the Nine of Pentacles, that could be a huge deal, for example, that is gonna grant you a tremendous monetary success. Okay, the card could also refers to a very significant individual that you make relationship with. Okay, the card may also refers to a self-sustenance that you ain't gonna need anybody else. It's so easy to sustain your life now with the new circumstances that you just don't need to rely on anybody else. And while that's gonna be true for the next week, it seems that how can I put it into words? This is just only one of the ingredients for you to get to where you are heading. Okay, just only one of those ingredients. And if you even for a second, build the confidence that you don't need anything else, you don't have to perform well, all right, you don't have to learn more, and so on and so forth, going forward you will fail. Okay, but if you keep up with the new change of circumstances, whether into your love life or whether into your career, that will transcend your experiences, your reality, into something you're gonna freaking love it, and by the end of the week you are gonna pretty much know how to handle anything, how to handle people around you, how to handle aggression, for example, how to handle kindness, how to handle certain propositions which are gonna come your way, how to handle as well certain problems and so on and so forth. And also you can expect establishment of a pretty huge goal, pretty huge aim, which is going to be quite challenging. Okay, but that is a challenge which you can definitely not just only handle but also overcome. And once you do, you are going to feel very, very proud. You're going to see yourself very, very proud, and then you can think of that you have it in the bag. So right now it is just only the tip of the iceberg of what you are yet to face. So do not kind of like think that the battle is over, because it is just beginning. And when I say battle, I don't mean it in a bad way. It's just, I mean it a battle for you, how much you can get from it, whatever whichever way manifests for you. That Nine of Pentacles manifests for you. If I go for the keywords, I would say it's money, but I don't like to go for keywords. It could be also in terms of love, like I said. And if it is in terms of love, this is when you do actually catch the big fish out there, the person that is just about right for you, at least at that given stage in your life. All right, so that was for Leo. Now moving on, next we do have Virgo. All right, first one for Virgo, that's going to be the Ace of Swords, followed by the Two of Swords. Moving on next, we do have the Queen of Swords. And the final one for you, Virgo, that's going to be the Seven of Wands. The additional card to the Queen of Swords, that's going to be the Six of Cups. It's about realizing that you can't do it by yourself. I don't know what the cards are referring to, because any single one, every single Virgo has its own matters, right? Has its own kind of like predicaments to handle. But within the next week, you are going to see that you can't do it by yourself, and this is exactly where that Queen of Swords comes about, and it pretty much. Well, it will help you to push your things through. Now, this Queen of Swords, it's capable to push anything through. Where is going to be the problem though? The methods that this Queen of Swords is going to use. Not exactly pleasant. Okay, not exactly something you would admire and you would encourage doing. And so all that comes to is, are you going to allow that person to help you to push your things through or not? To give you an example, let's say that you are in the middle of divorce, and of course you do have your, what is the word here? You're fighting for something out of those divorce, right? Out of that divorce, right? But your current lawyer isn't doing a great job, so it's kind of like it almost seems like you're not going to get anything from it. And suddenly comes that lawyer, Queen of Swords, tells you you share your situation with that individual, and they tell you, yeah, I mean, I can do it. I will do this, this, and this, and it will work in your favor. But when you hear what that lawyer is going to do, I mean, your body hair is going to bristle, because it's not going to be ethical, it's not going to be polite, right? It's not going to be something you're going to be proud of, but it's going to do the job. So this is what it comes down to. Do you want to get the job done? Do you want to look good? Which way is going to be? You can't have both. You can have only one, and it doesn't have to be only for a divorce. It could be for anything. Now, if you are curious what the cards are showing, you definitely should get the job done. Whichever way you go about it, at the end you will have to face whether criticism or whether an opposition, depending on which way you decide to go forward with. If you go for looking good, you are going to face a lot of criticism, and people are just going to slander you left, right, and center. If you do go for getting the job done and pushing your things through, the opposition is going to be fearsome, and also you may have to put up with some slander there as well. But you gotta be decisive. Decisive. You can't afford to stall here. You have to make up your mind almost on the spot. Are you gonna take the help or not? Because well, there is no because. I'm sorry. What I was about to say here is that you're pretty much gonna have all the information. There is nothing to think about anymore. It's gonna be pretty obvious that you can't do it by yourself, and that is the person who can do it for you, whichever way they act. So there is nothing to think about, literally. And that's why you will have to give your answer right away. All right, moving on next, we do have Libra. First one for Libra, that's gonna be the Strength. Moving on next, we do have the Star card, followed by the Hierophant. And the final one for you, Libra, that's gonna be the Six of Wands. So the week, there will be something very enthusiastic about it. With the Strength card being on the prime position, it kind of breeds, yeah, it breeds an enthusiastic, whether a drive or whether an enterprise, something you'll be pretty thrilled to be a part of. And as with the other star sign, the Strength also, whether that enthusiastic enterprise is always challenging. Okay, it kind of like makes you work for your money, so to speak. What baffles me is that star card being there. I can't quite figure out what it wants to say. Because definitely the Hierophant into the third position, it kind of shows that that is your how can I put it into words? A natural development. That is something sooner or later you're gonna go for. Okay, because pretty much it is what you worked toward. And the Six of Wands, it says that you will accomplish quite of a significant milestones along the way, so you can expect a very rapid progress, whether into your love life or whether into your career, Libra, into the next week, or even into a human interactions and friendships and relationships as well. Wherever that challenge is, you can expect a pretty significant and rapid progress being in there. The Star card could speak only that it's not gonna live up to your hopes and expectations. Okay, so it may be either it's gonna be a bit underwhelming as a as you see how it unfolds. But well, it should be that what the Star card is representing here. But it is what it is, basically, as the Hierophant sits into the third position. It pretty much with the Star card into the second, it shows that your expectations and ideals were unrealistic. No different than having an expectation that a coin is gonna have double heads. It has heads and tails, right? It just you gotta roll with it. There is no other way around it. And here the same thing. Maybe you are to get on a very challenging project, and that project will require a lot of involvement, a lot of work, and you are going to be a bit disappointed about it because you haven't expected that it's going to take so much effort. But your expectations were unrealistic, that you think that it's going to be a piece of cake, and yet you will make a lot of progress into it. That's not how it's going to work out. And also one last thing here, should you be in a dire need of help, okay, this help is just about to come throughout this week, if I have to estimate, towards the end of the week. Okay, it's about to come. And one last thing, Libra, here for you guys. It's an advice. Do not waste your time constantly explaining yourself to people. Let your actions speak louder than the words of anyone around you. All right, moving on next, we do have Scorpio. Right, so we do have the Nine of Cups. That's for a change. It's a prize. Followed by the Eight of Pentacles. Moving on next, that's going to be the Four of Wands. And the final one, it's going to be the Knight of Swords. So, it's without a doubt, guys, that the week is going to be very pleasant. It's just we are going to end up being very, very happy throughout the week, whether about our job or about our marriage, relationship, or about our life in general here. That eight of Pentacles into the second position, it kind of shows that we can't improve on it. We cannot improve on it. We just have to settle for what is given to us, so to speak, or whether what had developed for us throughout the next week. Whether a friendship is developing, whether romance is developing, or whether business enterprise is developing. Now, accomplishing that development is not going to be a challenge at all. It's pretty much in the back here with those cards. And that enterprise making us happy also is without a question. It's going to make us happy. So we definitely gonna end up having the fullness of life, the sensual joy and the happiness throughout the next week, and we are gonna be suffused by it. What is gonna be under a question is how long it's gonna last. Okay, that's gonna be very, very questionable. And so by a definition, it's gonna be a short-term happiness. It will depend on us to transform that short-term happiness into a long-lasting happiness. What was the three? Yeah, it's the Four of Wands. So, very important condition that to happen, it is that we should not leave any important details unattended. Okay, we should not leave those details unattended. We should not ignore obvious red flags or white flags, but we should attend to them immediately. And what this is going to make is pretty much going to seal it, all right? It's going to finalize those important cycles of developments, whether into our career or into our love life, okay? And the other important condition as well is not to take it for granted. Listen, imagine that you want to have a relationship. You just want to be loved, right? And suddenly throughout the week, you do end up being loved by someone. That's not an issue, right? The issue is how long this person is going to love you, what you are going to do to feed that love, because a love is not for granted, is it? Okay. So the maintenance, it is going to be what is important. And by the end of the week, we will have to make certain decisions how to go forward with the whole situation, how to go forward with whether with our source of happiness. Okay. and the decision can be only one. So whenever we are to make our choice, it has to, the logic needs to consult with the feelings. So we definitely should not do anything that we do not like, but in the same time, we definitely should not do anything that doesn't make any sense. And if we stay true to those conditions, suffice to say, and rest assured, we will have that source of happiness to drink from for a very, very long time, if not for a lifetime. Anna, thank you so much for your $20 support. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end, Anna, where you're gonna get your personalized reading for the week. And now the second free reading is going to take place, guys. So should anyone wants a free reading from me, that is the way you get it. And all that you got to do in order to get it, or to qualify for getting it, you just input a question into the comments down below from now to the next 5 minutes. And after those 5 minutes run out, I'm going to pick one of your questions and I'm going to perform a professional reading on that question. Furthermore, if you do decide that you do like the stream, you do like the content, and you wish to support it through super chat, you're gonna get a reading for it at the end of the live stream. That's pretty much given. And should your super chat be $20 or above, like just Anna did, you are gonna get the very same reading, but personalized for you, that I'm doing for the star signs. So yeah, Ginger, to refrain, to not to refrain, but to reflect to your comment here. So it seems that it's not going to go smooth, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a success. And do you know what's the problem, Ginger? I think that you are trying to make it perfect. Nothing can be made perfect. And this is something I like to say. Okay, we are humans, right? It is what we do. We do mistakes. That's literally within our nature. And sometimes, though, out of those mistakes, the most beautiful things literally happen. Ginger, thank you so much for your $20 as well. Thank you, Ginger. You also make sure that you do stick around up until the end, where you're going to get that very same reading, unless you do wish me to answer your question about, you are adamant that you want an answer to the question about the party. But I advise you not to. It's just, it won't matter, all right? It will have no reflection and no impact to your future whatsoever. Well, if you are trying to fulfill all of your expectations and expectations of others, that's perfection, okay? Because perfection is defined by what what you expect, and if you're not willing to settle for anything but your expectations, that is strive for a perfection. Chandra, if I am to pick your question, it will be more or less is it useful to get a new car? Because like I said, I cannot make a choice for you, Chandra, and if you decide to buy a car tomorrow, nothing can stop you, not a tarot card, not an astrology. You're just gonna get a new car. That's that. So if I am to pick that question, I'm going to rephrase it as, is it going to be okay to have a new car, or rather like what is going to be the impact of having a new car, unless the circumstances are different and you are expecting someone to buy you a car. Oh, you will, Ginger, because these parties, they're never about how lavish they are. These parties are about you seeing each other. Well, Sean, again, I cannot make a choice for you, mate. All that I can do is to tell you, are you gonna have a good experience if you do stay with your bank? But I can't tell you should you walk away or not. Mattia, thank you so much for your $9.99. Thank you, Mattia. Make sure that you do stick around as well up until the end, where you're going to get a personalized reading for the transit. For the week, though. Not for the transit, but for the week. All right. Chandra, I'm so sorry. I will have to take Sean's question because it's a little bit more impactful. Okay, that is how I'm trying to define which question I'm gonna take. Yours, I don't know what advice to give. Personally, I'm not a car person. I don't like having a car, truth be told. To me, having a car is just an expense. Okay, it's just an expense, nothing more. But yet again, I'm not living in America. I'm living in the downtown of the capital here in Bulgaria, and everything is around me. I'm just literally a couple of minutes walk from one of the biggest grocery stores. Also, a couple of minutes walk to the one of the best malls in Bulgaria. Couple of minutes of walk to the marketplace. All right, and about 20 minutes walk to where I'm gathering with my friends. So everything is around me, guys. Quite opinions about cars. I'm not the right person to give, as for relationships as well. Sometimes I just don't know. I'm amazed when people ask me about opinion for a relationship situation. And I make it pretty clear for them to know that I should be the last person anybody should ask, because I am pretty much single since 2017, 5 years. Oh my god, yeah, 2017. All right, Sean, let's check it out, mate. Yeah, I know that. Or I think I know that. Because the distances are kind of like humongous. Well, then if you need it, Chandra, you definitely should buy one. Yeah. Because listen, if that is how, listen, guys, that is something I believe in. All that matters is how comfortable you make your life. If a new car is gonna make your life way more comfortable than it is right now, because if car is a mandatory for you, you basically cannot avoid driving a car, then you definitely should get one. So those are the cards for you, Sean. And according to them, even if they don't tell you anything, they're not screwing you over. So literally those cards are showing it is that there is no reason for you to change your bank. But if you do won't have anyone that has better preferences to you, just change it. Fraud from the bank itself? No, it's just... Can I put it into words? Let's put it that way. In this bank, your finances are pretty much safe as they can be. It's what those cards are shown. It is that every bank is going to be like that. Okay, it's just you ain't going to see anything better or anything worse. So there is no reason for you to change it. Sherry, thank you so much for your $20 US. Thank you, Sherry. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end, where you're gonna get your personalized reading for the week. A couple of minutes, guys, and we're gonna move to Sagittarius next. But yeah, that is literally how I look into, because to me, guys, that is my personal opinion. How rich you are is defined by how comfortable you live, rather than how much money you do have in the bank. That is why I think you may spend all of your money to buy, for example, a better car or a better TV or something that is going to make your life easier and more pleasant to live. And that's all it counts. Well, I spoke with Taco Pisces Moonbeam a couple of days ago because I realized that I forgot his super chat reading last time. And of course, as he gave me his Xbox account, I contacted him and he was okay a couple of days ago. And I'm going to do his reading today and I'm going to text him to check it out as well. Probably he's okay. Yeah, that's also true, Sean. Because what I like to say as well, it is that, yeah, money can buy you trinkets, but they cannot buy you the happiness, okay? Money can buy you all the medicine in the world, but they cannot buy you health. And this isn't my personal experience, but I knew a doctor once. He was a pretty, can I put it into words? A pretty big name, so to speak, into nephrology. Nephrology is your urinary system, right? Your kidneys, and etc., etc. And what he told me was that to him, came a really old man just for a routine check. An old man that was, I think, 91 or something, and that man was smoking 3 cigarette boxes a day and healthy as a pretty much as a bull. And he told me, while in the same time, down on the operation table, 40 years old sportman, okay, sportist, that was living all of his life with healthy diets, exercising, training, and all these kind of stuff. 3 professors are kind of like scampering around him, trying to figure out what to do, and he's dying and no one can do anything about it. So that's sportist. He probably had all the money in the world to afford 3 professors to operate on him, and they can't save him. They just can't. So yeah, I mean, all comes to that, because I think I said it last time, that look how our life is settled, all right, or is set up. We bash ourselves and we literally rape our health of making money. That's what we do. We sleep deprive ourselves for the money. We stress ourselves for the money. You know, we do anything to make money, and it comes a time where we just, our health, our body just kind of like gives up, and then we spend all the money we made to fix our health, and we can't. It's already damaged. That's really fucked up. Yeah, and I love his last quotes. I don't remember them exactly, but what he said on his death's door, on his dying bed, when into the last interview, because I think they asked him, and what did you learn in this life? And he said that money, I spent, he said something like, I spent all my life chasing money and making money, and what comes down to is the realization that it doesn't matter if you do have a watch for $10, if you do wear a watch for $10 or a Rolex for $1,000,000, because at the end of the day they both show the same thing, time. It doesn't matter if you have a car for a $5,000 or for a $50,000, okay, or a $500,000, because at the end of the day both cars are gonna get you to your destination. That's what they are for, right? It doesn't matter if you do live in a freaking castle or a mansion or a small house if you live alone in it. It just, if it is empty, right? So yeah, and that's pretty much true. So that's our money for, spending them. So Chandra, again, if new car is gonna make your life easier and you have the money for it, buy it. Yeah, they both tell the same thing, time. All right, so let's go to Sagittarius now. Well, her is out of necessity, I believe. That's Anna, this is my saying. Yes, time is our most valuable currency. We can lose money, we make money. We can lose friends, we make friends. We waste time, there is no making it back. It's wasted, it's gone there. All right, so Sagittarius, first one, that's going to be the ace of, not the ace, the page of wands, followed by seven of wands. Moving on next, we do have the two of wands. And the final one for Sagittarius is going to be the Empress. Karen, thank you so much for your $3 support and a reading for me. Thank you, Karen. Although, just to backtrack a little bit about the watch, guys, there is that TV show, a Bulgarian TV show. I think it became very successful and went around the world. It's called Undercover. And there was that scene there where it's about gangs, you know, and there where the boss, the gang boss, came up with a really expensive watch in a Rolex, and his right hand asked him, "Why did you spend so money for a thing that just shows the time?" And he looked at him and said, "This doesn't show the time. It shows how much you can and how much power you have." So there is also that thing to be considered. Thank you again. And Pisces Moonbeam, quick to ask the question. Thank you again for the other $3, Karen. Right, so Sagittarius, quite exciting week in front of you guys. There are going to be many new things that are going to be thrown literally in your way. Something specific to be said here is that if you are waiting for some kind of a news that you are hoping to be a good news, a good news shall be, okay? But those new enterprises which are to be thrown your way, they are going to create a lot of grievances into a people that surround you, okay? For example, in your work, you may be rewarded with some kind of a new task or a new project, and every single colleague around you to be very jealous of it and to start talking behind your back, because that is literally how it's going to play out with the rumors and gossips which are going to be behind your back. These people, they ain't going to have the courage, the guts, the balls to say it in your face. Nonetheless, guys, the best way to deal with that is to confront it right away. You shouldn't leave it to spread like disease, all right? These rumors and those gossips. Now, these new things are going to be already on current establishments or current accomplishments of yours. So suffice to say here, Sagittarius, what you worked hard for is going to be rewarded into the upcoming week. And another thing that is going to take place throughout the week, guys, it is that you will actually going to reach to a realization how strong you are. You're going to start depending more and more on yourself and on your personal strength, to a point where at the end of the week, you're just going to feel very comfortable into the positions you are, whether into your career, whether into your relationship, finding yourself planning for the distant future. That's how well you are going to find yourself being situated love-wise, career-wise, friendship-wise. So that was for Sagittarius. But again, should you start hearing rumors about you, gossips, fallacies, you gotta address them right away. You should not leave them even a second to fester. I don't know what that means, Pisces Moonbeam, but the tarot reading was really, really positive. Next one, we do have Capricorn. You're welcome, Sean. For Capricorn, we do have the Two of Wands. Moving on next, that's going to be the Ace of Wands. Followed by the Nine of Swords. And the final one, that's going to be the Seven of Swords. Okay, Capricorn, that's an important message that those cards have for you. How do I go about it saying it? You're going to feel threatened. Either by the circumstances or by someone, you know, like an ultimatum, something like this. Like, if you don't do it, we are done, or the circumstances are going to squeeze you. And the whole point of all that is so you do not, you stop your growth. Because for what it seems, you are getting closer and closer to having your way. I don't know what this is referring to. For every single one is going to be for a different enterprise. Maybe you are going to very, very close having it your way in your marriage. Maybe you are very, very close having it your way with your boss, and so on and so forth. So this is the very last resort that you are going to face from the other side. The ultimatum, how can I put it into words, the deflection, and also it could represent itself as a diversion, like something new for you to undertake, so you can forget or spread your resources, therefore having not enough resources to continue your work. Whatever you do, you should not stop your work. Okay, according to these cards, you are doing very well. Your accomplishments anyone could envy, whether into your career or whether into your relationship, and you should keep up pressing, no matter what kind of threats, no matter what kind of a discouraging flags you are seeing. For you are always gonna start seeing them, and in fact, according to these cards, if someone tells you that they're gonna leave you if you do what you think is gonna make you happy, maybe they don't deserve you, but I don't think that they're gonna leave you either. It's just a bluff. And because they do know that what you are afraid of, this is why they're pressing that button. Well, it's time to show them that you are not afraid of it anymore, and you shouldn't be afraid of it anymore. You have to, if you are, you gotta stand and conquer literally your fear. But by the end of the week, you are gonna happen to find yourself accomplishing what you think is right. So therefore your self-righteousness is going to be fulfilled, and also finding yourself withstanding your ground, or standing firm your ground, and pretty much stepping up for yourself, stepping up for what you believe in, stepping up for what you think you deserve, and you're gonna get it. You simply are gonna get it. All right, so that was for Capricorn. Now moving on, next we do have Aquarius. You don't have any choice, Pisces Moonbeam. All right, so for Aquarius, first one, we do have the Nine of Pentacles, followed by the Page of Pentacles. Moving on next, that's going to be the Four of Swords. And the final one, we do have the Queen of Cups. So for Aquarius, very, very chill week for us. I'm saying us because I'm rising Aquarius. Okay, so very chill week. It is just things are gonna work easy for us, and that's literally what the week revolves around into. And when I say work easy for us, it seems that we are not gonna face the usual shenanigans and the usual problems which we are expecting or which we are facing on a day-to-day basis. And that's literally gonna open up some free time for ourselves. That's gonna open up a how can I put it into words? Some free room, let's put it that way. We get to think about, contemplate, and talk about as well how we feel about one or another thing, what we are planning to do with one or another thing, and what kind of opinions other people around us, which are unaffected but capable to walk in our shoes about one or another situation. In other words, we may kind of like in the midst of this calmness, we may decide that, well, maybe now it's time to consult myself with someone professional about what I am concerned that may kind of like bestow me going forward into the future. And once, you know, all this is settled and the dust settles, or rather like there will be no dust throughout the week, but in any way, when everything is done, we will have a pretty established position. Now, the Queen of Cups, especially as an outcome card, pretty much shows that we are going to establish a long path in front of us. Whether that's about our job and we are going to establish a long path within the current position, within the current job, or whether that's about relationship, we are to establish a long path within our relationship or within our love way, so on and so forth. We are to establish a long path moving forward. And also in some specific cases, that could represent that this counselor is gonna also happen to be or happen to become a friend of ours, a friend that will be very loyal, and also someone who will simply gonna understand our plights always. One advice here, guys, that's not a week where you make a move to transform friendship into relationship. If you have a crush in a friend of yours, that's not a week where you share your crush, okay? Where you share with your crush that you have a crush on them. Thank you, Pisces Moonbeam, for your 3 Canadian. Thank you, which is meant for Karen. Oh, and one last thing for Aquarius. This is not a week where you should undertake something that it is very valuable for you, okay? Where you try to alter it. And you just leave it as it is for now, guys. This is a week where you do contemplate and you do try to figure out rather than perform and manifest. All right, and we do have last but not least, Pisces. Uh, uh, that's Bulgarian. It means well. We do have. I just forgot myself, guys. I'm sorry. the Devil card, which is the first one. Moving on next, that's going to be the Five of Swords. Followed by the Knights of Pentacles. And the final one for Pisces is going to be the Wheel of Fortune. For the Knights of Pentacles, the additional card, that's going to be Page of Wands. All right, Pisces, you got to be extremely careful, guys, within the upcoming week. Because you will have... Well, the devil into the prime position of the reading is always about having the power to alter the outcomes, to alter the circumstances, to do whatever you like. And this is where also the problem is gonna lie, because we do have the Five of Swords into the second position, which pretty much speaks that you will intoxicate yourself with it, and there is a pretty severe chance that you may misuse that power, okay, over especially someone. Knights of Pentacles into the third position, it kind of shows a very simplistic... I need to check on that word, hold on a second. Humble. Oh, I didn't know that I can use humble for it. Okay, so that is a very humble and simplistic individual. And when I say simplistic, I don't mean dumb or anything like that. It's just a person who doesn't like drama. It's a person who wants things to be cleared out instead of having a sophisticated, a very, how can I put it into words, a very complex plans that they do depend on a lot of things. That person just wants to know and see that one thing leads to another, and that is pretty much enough for him. So he or she does go about with tangible circumstances rather than what could happen if that takes place on a basis of that thing, okay? And we may kind of like I said, you guys, you Pisces, may kind of like abuse the power you have over them, making them do whatever you want them to do in one or another way. So just don't go for it, okay? Don't go for it, because at the end of the day, this, how can I put it into words? This experience has to be paid. And for one or another reason, by the end of the week with that person, there will be a huge opening for you. We do have the Wheel of Fortune at the end of the reading that pretty much shows that there will be a seemingly random circumstances that will allow you to make once in a lifetime change in your life, whether into your career or whether into your relationship, and you want to do it in the best possible circumstances rather than circumstances that suits you best. These are two different things, okay? Because the circumstances should suit that person as well. If that's about romantic relationship, most likely that is someone you already know. Should it be about business, that is a person who is a very experienced and also knowledgeable, but doesn't have to be a person who already have an established lucrative business as well. But my appeal to you guys, know how far you can stretch your limits with that individual and how far you can boss them around, because eventually they're going to turn back and they're going to backlash you, right? There is going to be a retribution. All right, so we're done with the 12th. And now the last free reading is going to take place. So should any of you guys want to have a free reading with me, it happens here publicly on the live stream. And all you got to do is just input a question that you want me to read for with the tarot cards. And in about 5 minutes, I'm going to pick one of your questions, if there are any questions, and I'm going to perform a professional reading on it. Should there be no questions, I'm just going to move to the super chat. Anyone who supported and is about to support the stream and the channel through super chat, you're going to get a reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much given, which is going to be personalized for you. And should your super chat happen to be $20 or above, the reading is going to be 4 cards, the very same type of a format of a reading that I'm doing for the star signs. Two and a half minutes, guys, to submit your questions if there are any. All right, we do have one. Again, Cara, that's something that the management is going to decide. I cannot make decisions for them. Oh, permanent. Oh, that's a different story. But still, it comes to their decision. Kate, if you feel the necessity for, sure. I mean, I'm around. All right. Will my company I work for make me permanent? T. Kara asks. Let's check it out. Well, Kate, there is one saying in the Christian religion that the fear rots and eats thy soul. Don't be afraid. Right away, the first card, Tara. I don't need to draw other cards, but for the sake of the reading, I am. You are going to be there to stay, according to these cards. I think that they're going to make you permanent. Maybe not in the very same position, though, but definitely there will be an offering for a position in that company, right? So maybe not in the same position. That's because we do have the Hangman into the second one, right? So there will be a stir that will be unfavorable for you. But again, and it may take a few temporary contracts. I mean, they may not make you permanent right away, but once this contract expires, they may renew it for 3 months and then for another 6 months. You know, they may do that a few times before they actually assign you permanently. But also, there is one thing you can do to help it, okay? Either show them or tell them that that is a place you want to work at, okay? Just do it. Show them that you do enjoy your, or tell them that you do enjoy your job and you want to be there. That's going to help it. All right, guys, that concludes the free readings, and now I'm moving to the super chat readings. Couple of minutes, and I'm gonna start with them. And the first one that I'm gonna do is for myself, which is gonna be a Lenormand one, Pisces Moonbeam. You can turn off the volume of your the computer if you want to, because she's terrified seeing Lenormand cards. You live with the boss? Why are you asking then? I mean, if not anything else, I mean, out of courtesy, they should offer you a permanent position. I literally don't know what they're talking about. I know, but I just don't see how it's going to happen. And now that it's a trend, all right, they are saying these things for a few times now, literally referring probably to the same event in a different way. But what the event here is that they say that I will be monetarily successful in multiple ways. I just don't see it happening. I was never monetarily successful. I don't think that I will ever be. It's just how I feel it, but who knows? All right, so that was my reading. Oh yeah, I mean, well, something, I don't know if that's gonna be funny, guys, but I actually, I don't know how to put it into words, but I figure out the pattern, all right, at least in my life. Anytime that I am to fall in love and the person simply leaves me, okay? So I figured, well, if falling in love kind of makes things leaves me, then I fell in love with all of my problems. And go figure, they left me too. So yeah. So no more love, Pisces Moonbeam. I don't need it because I don't have anything to put it into. I don't have any problems. I don't have any people around me to fall in love with. Or any women, so to speak, around me to fall in love with. Yeah. Right. Let me shuffle the tarot cards and do your super chat, guys. Tacos, annas, gingers, and cherries, they're gonna be at the end. So yeah, if you are to fall in love with something, fall in love with your problems, guys, and they are gonna leave you too. Yeah, the meme. I love it. I just love it. It's so true, alright? It is so freaking true. Because when you fall in love with your problem, even if it is there, it's no longer a problem. It's something you love. It's something you enjoy, right? It's a pretty damn long way, Karen. It's a pretty long way if you ask me. What is cynical? Did I said something wrong? I do. There are different types of love. I'm not saying that I'm love deprived, I'm saying that there is no romance yet. All right, Jen. We do have the Emperor for you and the week ahead. So it seems, Jen, that you will handle everything very well, which is to be thrown at you throughout the week. The Emperor shows that you are going to show yourself or present yourself being very strong and very reliable. So I hope that you do have a lot of business endeavors scheduled, because the Emperor thrives in business environment and also into friendship environment as well. Not exactly the best card of a finding love. It is just people are going to find you way to let's put it that way, strong to be associated with. But on the plus side, now we are done with love. On the plus side, as you do handle everything with such a subtlety and competence, you will be able to face whatever ups and downs you do have to their maximum extent. What I mean is that you are to diminish the downs and improve the ups as much as the situation allows. And that will allow you to kind of like have a pretty nice experience, day-to-day experience. And also you can expect to have some free time for yourself as well throughout the week, finally. Cara, will I get the proper salary next week? Two of Swords. I don't think so, Cara. And with that card, I don't think that raising the question is going to make things easier. Okay. I don't like to say it, but maybe you are in the wrong asking for whatever you are going for. Maybe you should try to see if there is no kind of like government tax raise or anything like that, okay, before you go for it. Something that you don't know about. Chandra, your card for the week, it is the Moon card. I don't know about the card, but the next week it's highly advisable, Chandra, not to take the initiative, but to follow the initiative, okay? So around you, there are going to be circumstances which you can't quite, which you're not going to be quite able to figure out why they're happening, but it is very important to follow them. The Moon card is the card showing that you are to be set on a path you are meant to walk, a destination that you are meant for. Whether you like it or not, one way or another, you are going to end up there, whether now or a later. And the only thing which is kind of like troublesome, it is that because you cannot figure out what is going on, you feel unstable about it, in a sense of that your emotions are going to be like a roller coaster throughout the week, not being able to say, is it going to be a good thing or a bad thing, all right? The only thing certain it is that whatever you decided to go for before you hear that reading, you should not deviate from it, no matter how it looks like. That is for the next week, though. Mattia, we have the Seven of Swords for you, Mattia, catalyzed with Justice card. Well, it's a pretty strong message. Next week, the best experience, how can I put it into words? No one can do better for you than what you can do for yourself. Okay, so this week that it is coming, it's all about you and all about your personal preferences and all about your own personal agenda, which, by the way, will evoke you to make choices about. Okay, how you want to go about it. And as well, the upcoming week, it's a week where you will have to pretty much demand what you think you deserve, because what you think you deserve, it is the right thing to ask for. It is something you truly deserve, because having only the Seven of Swords, it's a self-righteousness, but being supported by the Justice, that is the self-righteousness being aligned with the universal righteousness. Okay, and therefore what you are going for, what you ask for, whether it is an attitude, whether it is a treatment, whether it is a money, whether it is a development, it is something you do deserve, something you worked for, and it is whatever you reap, you are, whatever you sow, you are to reap now into the upcoming week. What you are going to do in a practical way, Mathieu, is that you will be able to settle or manage your priorities to perfection. So pretty much you're going to have time and resources for literally anything that you have planned to undergo into the upcoming week, 19th to 25th of September 2022. Pisces Moonbeam, let me check on your question. Three of Swords. Yep, for real. Pisces moonbeam. It is for real. But I don't know how to express that. There is a fear of failure though. Okay, that is from the other side, not from your side. From the other side, there is a strong fear of failure, that the history is gonna repeat itself, if you know what I mean. Next one, Karen, the Hangman. Karen, upcoming week, no progress at all, Karen. It's just things are gonna be as they are right now. Unfortunately, that is according to the card. Although whatever problems you are experiencing right now, the Hangman promises solutions, that they are going to start improving themselves on their own accord. It's just not throughout the upcoming week. Okay, and it's highly advisable as well not to take initiative. Just follow the establishment. All right, let me shuffle. And I'm sorry, Karen, but hey, the promise of the Hangman, it is that the skies darken are going to be set into light again, and only thing you got to do in order that to happen is just to wait. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It is just the light is not coming up next week. All right, next one, Taco. It's not even a fear, Pisces moonbeam. It's more like anticipation. Okay, it's not even a fear. We do have the Lovers for you, Taco, followed by Justice card. Moving on next, it's going to be the Seven of Wands. And the final one, that's going to be the Six of Wands. That's such a strange reading. Oh my god. That's... All right, I don't know what those cards are referring to, Taco, but what they are saying is that at the current stage, the situation you're finding yourself into is as a best as it can be, is as perfect as it can be, according to them. And definitely with the resources you do have and with the means you do have, you can make yourself being comfortable, being harmonious. Now, if you don't make trouble, trouble is gonna leave you. Okay, you're literally, if you do not feed your troubles, they're gonna start resolving themselves on their own accord. But also next week, you have to be have that readiness to jump into action, if you know what I mean, whenever you are to be challenged. That is very, very important. You may be challenged from other people. You may be challenged by the universe as well, through finding yourself being at the right time, at the right place, okay? And you're gonna feel it, and there will be that sense for action, and you gotta be ready to jump into that action. And should you be by the end of the week, you can expect to accomplish a severe milestones. into your enterprises, accomplishments, success. Okay, you are to reap rewards, or in other words, you are to be rewarded, you are to be as well recognized. Okay, and also you are to receive help should you need one. Important thing to know, Taco, it is that within the next week you cannot make a wrong choice, mate. It all comes to that, what preferences you do have and how to go about stuff. All right, but should you not feed your problems, in other words, just ignore them, they are going to start resolving themselves on their own accord. That was your reading, Taco. Moving on next, Anna. All right, Anna. First card we do have, that's going to be the Four of Cups, followed by the Knight of Cups. Moving on next, we do have the Ace of Cups. And the final card, that's going to be the Two of Cups. Extremely emotional week for you, Anna. Uh, Alright, I don't know. I mean, they all breed that there will be a love situation going on for you into the upcoming week. With that Knight of Cups. Alright, so that Knight of Cups, do you know what is going to be the problem of him? Is that that person is going to be ready to promise anything. To pretty much has its chance with you. And that's going to be a huge problem because he may promise things that he cannot live up to. And that doesn't mean that these are going to be ungenuine or disingenuine, promises. The intentions are going to be there. For example, if that person promises you the world, they really mean that. It's just they can't do it. Okay, so the intentions are going to be there, but yeah. In fact, they had an eye on you for quite a while. I don't know if they had made any advances, but they definitely, up until this point, but they definitely kind of like prepared themselves for the situation, although they did really poor job preparing for it. Nonetheless, the cards are advising you to give the man a chance, okay? Because the environment that is going to happen under is an environment where no matter where you are in the society, what I mean is that he may be far richer than you are, for example, or with far more influence than you are. He's going to take you for equal, and there will be no pride that's to kind of like to taint the interaction. There will be no shyness, which is going to be, which otherwise it's a barrier being there. There will be no, how can I put it into words? There will be no, that game being hard to get. That's not going to be there either. And it's just this is going to be, there will be an atmosphere for a unobstructed flow of emotions. And according to these cards, you should really, really take it. For as far as your career in business goes, because I know that that's the most important thing for you right now, or one of the most important things for you right now, you should know that within the upcoming week, things are going to be pretty smooth. They're going to go pretty smooth for you. Just avoid associating yourself with the people who are hard workers, okay? Because they can pretty much beguile you into count on them, while they have to do something personal, or some kind of a job that doesn't involve you, and they are gonna burn you for it. So avoid that to happen. And in terms of career, Anna, it will be you do, according to these cards, you have a really good accomplishments up until this point, but maybe it's a time to start thinking of something a little bit higher, a little bit bigger than what you have, than what you are managing currently. All right, so that was your reading, Anna. Moving on next, Ginger. Four of Swords. Moving on next, we do have the Eight of Swords, Ginger, followed by the Seven of Swords, and the final one, that's going to be the Devil. Well, Ginger, there will be a lot of conversations and a lot of discussions which are going to be, which next week is going to be remembered for. Now, on a more practical level, next week you are not going to face many difficulties, tangible difficulties, in a sense. For example, difficulty to go to work if you do work, these kind of like mundane problems that everybody literally faces. But as the focus shifts toward the discussions and the conversations, those discussions are going to be about how the thing can move forward while you do get what you want from it. This is literally what's going to be the topic of the discussion. And I don't know if it is fortunately or unfortunately, it will be very difficult to get your point across within the next week, but eventually you are to be heard. And by the end of the week, it seems that you are going to have it your way should you not waver. That's very, very important, that you should not waver. And also, one other thing, it is that if you are finding yourself in front of a predicament, it will be best if you try to find a professional help about it. And the last one, we have Sherry's reading. Three of Wands, Sherry, followed by the Four of Wands. Moving on next, that's going to be the Death card. And the final one, that's going to be the Star card. It's a pretty damn good reading, Sherry. It's a reading where it shows that within the week, these are a last-minute changes, which are going to prove to be the altering changes. Okay, that is where you do make out of a situation that doesn't really suit you well into a situation where you are finding yourself sitting on a well-established patterns and foundations. Literally, what those cards are showing it is that how can I put it into words? Situations you are involved into, while they are going to pretty much finalize themselves, they're not going to finalize themselves the way they are supposed to, but the way that it suits you. Suffice to say here, Sherry, into the upcoming week, whatever expectations you do have, it's highly likely that they are to be fulfilled. Okay, it's just you have to literally work against yourself in order those expectations not to be fulfilled. Another thing, you will relieve yourself in a sense of that there will be some kind of actions toward liberty. I don't know what those cards are referring to, but by the end of the week, Sherry, through all that, you are going to be with one foot out of some kind of a atmosphere, era, or a situation of problems, turmoil, tantrum, difficulties, problems. Okay. And from there, moving forward, the future can be as good as you make it. Okay, the future in regards to the situation that you are stepping away from can be as good as you make it. So your expectations could be a really profitable career, unfolding love, etc., etc. Whatever your ideals and standards dictate. But whenever you do have the chance to liberate yourself, do it. And whenever you do have the chance to establish patterns, do it. Okay, do not allow or do not leave the situation to revolve itself on its own accord. Alter it with anything you got, because that will define how solid your foundation is for the future. But the hero of the reading is about the expectations. All of your expectations can be met should you not leave it for the destiny, not for the destiny, but for the universe to decide. So with that said, these were the readings, and thank you all for attending. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for all of your support and for your generosity, and we are gonna see each other next time. Until then, bye.